Welcome, welcome, welcome. Friday night in the sim. You know, you really ought to be out doing something fun. But I'm glad to have you. I thought we tonight would have some fun and do some things besides shut that guy off. I don't want to listen to me. Though I do want to see my chat if there was at all possible. I have to figure this out. I apologize for. Let me see if I can find my chat. You would think it would just be right there. Oh, I see it right now. Okay. So if anybody shows up and wants to chat, I will try to watch for you. So, what I thought I would do tonight is some fun stuff. So, what we have here is the Aero G Aviation, and this is an X-Plane add-on, and it is a VTOL, so vertical takeoff and landing. Let's go outside and look at it. It's a really cool machine. I have not got so that I can hardly fly it. Oh, isn't that cool looking? So this is an electric airplane. It's a real concept airplane. So they've got it here on X-Plane. And I'm not sure whether it's actually built or not, but these electric motors here tilt. So the three positions are either completely flat or this 45-degree angle or 90-degree. If you watch that one well, you probably saw my crash. Now the reason I crashed was, and I crashed right out here in the water, is I took off of this helipad, and this helipad is up on top of this cool hotel in Dubai in the United Arab Emirate. And I'm not sure if I can get a bit. Okay, now cut that out. Oh, I see what the problem is. I'm on the wrong screen. What I was going to see was if I could see a view of the exterior. Let's see what a still spot looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. Kind of see we're way up high. There's a skyline around Dubai. There's a kind of a cool skyscraper over there. And they also have these really neat things out in the water. Man-made atoll type things. So, let me look for one more view. A circle. No. Okay, so what we're going to do is, let's go inside first and talk about the inside. It has a G1000 setup. It also has that AVTAB right there in the middle, though there are no charts for this airport, this helipad. But the helipad is an X-plane, and you can see there the motors are tilted slightly forward. as a G1000, and I'm still learning how to use the G1000, but what we're doing today is just actually flying it. So let's take off the parking brake. I've already got, this is where you control the engines from flat to 45 degrees to 90. And let's go outside. There's no way to fly it from inside. So, let's see if we can get some sound going here. I took the brake off, so let me see if I can turn it around here. Whoa. You kind of don't want to take off and hit the structure, so. I would really like to be able to take off and come back and land, but I'm not sure that's going to happen. Uh-oh. I think we're going to crash right off the bat. What do you think here? Oh, no, it's going to fly. And the gear automatically goes up at about 130 knots, so you don't even have to put the gear up. It flies pretty nice. Like I said, what I'd like to be able to do is go back and land on the helipad. We might try that. We're not going to spend a lot of time watching me crash, so I'm eventually going to figure this thing out. I told you I have my commercial add-on rating on my commercial pilot's license, and I'm also a helicopter instructor. So I really like this vertical takeoff and landing stuff. This is one of those where they've built it out into the water. Oh, there's an airport right over there. We could probably go in and land on a runway. Let's see if we can get up here and see what this thing looks like. Here goes the gear. So this is all man-made out there in the water. Those guys have more money than they want what to do with. So let me go in real fast and put those things forward all the way. And there they go. They're tilting all the way. It's pretty cool looking. Also, you can fly this with just shutting, you can shut down the back motors and just fly it with the front motors. Some more man-made islands. Whoa, there's my hotel. Well, let's go down there and see. I'll attempt to make a approach to the helipad. Like I said, I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time boring you with my crashes. What I need to do is I'm going to figure this thing out if it kills me. Uh-oh. This thing is descending. I guess if I give it enough power, it'll climb again. It's sort of like an airplane, but it's vertical takeoff and short takeoff and landing. Well, there's that cool helipad. I sure would like to be able to land on it. Well, let's go out here and give it one try, and then we'll see what happens. I'm not exactly sure. The trim doesn't seem to work like the trim on an airplane. So, let me go inside real fast. Okay. Maybe I can go down here and put these things flat without losing control. And if you look up there in the upper right hand corner, you can see the engine's going flat. Okay. So now the question is, can we come back around and land? It's got flaps. We'll see what happens here. Looks like we went clear over, but actually we're turning final for the helipad. There it is. So what we want to do is we want to come straight in. And of course the whole object of flying vertical is to slowly slow down so that your forward and your vertical speed ends at the helipad. I'll tell you right now, you're going to get to watch this thing crash again. Whoa, come back up here, you. You know, it would be better to be inside flying it, but matter of fact, maybe that's what I need to do. Uh-oh. Looks like we're going to crash. Oh, there's the wires. Aww. What a shame. Okay, that's enough of that. It starts back out on the helipad. Okay. Well, let's go over and fly the pocket rocket. We'll start that thing out running. And let's go out to San Diego. On the airport. We're the fixed base operator. And it looks like it's daytime. Oh, you guys are watching me crash. all for more fun stuff. Oh, there he goes. Okay. So the pocket rocket is made by TorqueSim, and it's of course an X-plane um, add-on aircraft. What's really nice about it is it's a single-engine turboprop. It has the G1000 avionics also, and it's really well done, and the modeling, the performance. It takes off and lands at 70 and flies about 350. Its max altitude's about 25,000 feet, and it's a nice little machine. You'll like what it looks like. It has a bunch of different paint schemes that you can make. I'm sorry, and you can make your own tail numbers. As you'll see, I made mine with my. Oop, there he is. So if we look outside at it, it's pretty cool looking. It's got a PT6 turboprop in it. And there's my number 577, and AZ were my operating initials when I was an air traffic controller, so that's my call sign. Let's go back inside. Now it's got this have a tab, but you can actually, let me go back. You can actually bring up the, all the charts and the moving map and everything. It's really kind of nice. So let's look at the airport information. Pretty cool looking, and it shows you where you are on the airport. Also, the G1000 has got synthetic vision. You can on the PFD here, you can see the runway and stuff, and then over here you can actually see the runway from the camera that's mounted on the front, or maybe it's mounted on the wing. But it's pretty cool. It's also got this really cool Garmin over here that's got everything. It's got your attitude indicator, a flight director in it, airspeed, altitude, the whole 9 yards. And you guys may be familiar with the G1000, which I'm not that familiar. So what we're going to do is we're over here at Lindbergh. There's North Island there. We're going to take off, make a left turn, go down over North Island. Then we're going to go up over Miramar, maybe come into the break and make a landing up at Miramar. And then if we have time, we'll go fly the Airbus a little bit. So let's see. I don't think we have. Oh, we do. Hang on. We do have the manuals for the airplane. So this AVTAB you can put it in any airplane. You can put the operations manual in the from any airplane in here and be able to scroll through it. So let's go back over to the map. That's kind of cool. San Diego. It gives you all the information here. And like I say, it gives you the airport Well, let's see if we can power this thing up. It's running already, so we'll go out and fly around the patch. I'm still working on my VAT sim. I've got it so that I can communicate via text, and I've also got it so I can hear, but I have not been able to make it work so I can talk. Let's see, show who's online, so right there. Let's see if there's any controllers here in San Diego today. Oops. Let me set up this audio first. The built-in microphone, I'm using my Fifine, so let's see if that'll work. And the output is should be coming to my headphones. Let's go down here a minute. In order to kind of blow it up, I wanted to see what the frequencies are. The ATIS is 138.4, so let's see if we can get the ATIS here. Whoops. Let's see, I got it down here, so COM2. Yeah, I'm not hearing anything. Oh, well, maybe that's why. Let's go back up here a minute. Let's go ahead and connect with these guys and see if we can oh, that's cool. You put in the call sign and it immediately brings up Howard Hughes rocket. Now let's see if we got anybody. Oh, we do have San Diego ATIS, so let's listen to it again. One 123.9 is San Diego ground, so let's see if we can put that number on. Stand by with me for a second. San Diego Lindbergh ground, pocket rocket 577 Alpha Zulu for radio check. Nah. Oh, I'm not connected. Let's go back. See if we can make this work. San Diego ground, November 577 Alpha Zulu, radio check. I'm just reading the little thing up here. Okay. Oh, let's go fly around without it. I'll get it working one of these days. Let's see, the trim over here, the rudder trim is right there. The aileron trim, the elevator trim is right here. So let's taxi out to runway 27, and like I said, we'll just do a little VFR flying around the patch. Music could come in handy right now. Oh, cool route. Well, for some reason, my parking brake is sticking. I believe she's right over there. I'll start this again. Something doesn't seem to be right. Let's start out hold it short of the runway. See if it'll cooperate. Oh, we're on the runway. Oh, there's a synthetic vision. Shows you right on the runway. Well, let's put these flaps down a notch and we'll see if this little Hummer will go. Oh, that's off, so and looks like we're rolling. That synthetic vision is really cool. So you rotated 70, so you're airborne right away. Take a look outside there. If you've never been to San Diego, we're turning down Point Loma. And then off to the left is North Island, which is a naval air station. And there's where the bridge is underneath the aircraft, but it's not showing a three-dimensional bridge. Yeah, 220 knots. Shut off that dinger. Mountains out in the distance. about 2,700 feet. Mission Bay is off our left. .395 freeways underneath us. There's Montgomery Field at 11:30. There's Miramar at 12 o'clock. Then we'll fly over midfield and enter right downwind and land on 2-4 right. Got a whole bunch of F4s up there. .130 is the approach speed. Little overshoot. Gears down 3 green. Well, Miramar's a Marine Corps station now, but back in the day it was a naval station. That's where they filmed the movie Top Gun. Love the synthetic vision. Don't even have to hardly look outside. So much for landing on the runway. Well, didn't land on the runway. Few helicopters here. Nice thing about this turboprop is you don't have to use the brakes. You can just use the beta on the blades. I guess we can just point right at this KC-10. I don't know, me and these brakes. There it goes. Okay. So that's pretty fun. We'll do that more in the future. Probably fly that thing IFR. Here are the F4s out on the ramp. I guess this jet over here is a Dornier jet. Okay, let's go fire up the Airbus. There it is. Let's start out with it running. We'll start off at the gate here in San Diego. Gate 7. Hopefully there's nobody parked there. Again, one of the things we want to talk about is what we want to do with the stream. Do we want to start out with cold and dark aircraft and go through all the steps that it takes to fly? Doing the weather briefing, the route selection, the programming of FMS, and then go fly a short flight? Or do we want to start out more down? What I mean by more down, I mean things running more. So right now we got the chocks. Let's call up a GPU and a fire bottle. And then let's go inside. And so a cold and dark airplane. First thing we want to do is turn on the batteries and select the external power. And then once we've got that, we want to go over and get the inertial navigation working. So it's got 3 inertial navigation systems. There we go. So you leave each one of these on till the on bat light goes off. And then you select the enter button and it says TTN7. Now if you go down here to the screens, it will say the IRs are in alignment in 7 minutes. Then your screens will come on. So the first thing we need to go down here is initialize the... So let's do that route of flight. Let's go back over to Phoenix. And I think I got a route of flight already. So we can insert that and then we'll check it with the charts. We need to align the IRSs. Put in our call sign, Frontier 577. You notice the screens just came on. Remember, we need a cost index that dispatch gives us that helps the airplane fly to its best ability, I guess I should say. Let's go at flight level, let's see, odd 270. And let's stop there for just a second. Let's go get a sim brief. So we're going to get a new window and come over here and a couple things. We need charts and we need a sim brief. Let's go sim brief first. And as you see, I'm already logged on. This is a service that you buy. You subscribe to, I should say. So you get detailed flight planning. You get a nice release. You get current air rank cycles, which are current charts. And it's just a nice all-around flight planning tool. So let's save flights. We ought to have a San Diego to Phoenix. There it is right there. Let's load that. And we'll update it. Let's use the current time. So we're here at Frontier 577, San Diego to Phoenix. Prescott is the alternate, 21 November. That's because we're in the next day Zulu. It's almost 3 o'clock, and it's showing departure at 3:20. That's the aircraft, 320 Sierra Bravo. Belongs to Frontier. Registration, VIN number, and what the profile is. It's going to take an hour and 20 minutes to fly over there. We're going to depart runway 27 in San Diego. We'll look and make sure that weather is correct in just a second. Altitude's auto. Let's see what happens if we try to put it in there. Okay. Passenger auto, cargo auto, Zoo through. Got the captain. And here's the route of flight. The Zoo 2 Imperial, J18 to BZA, then the Hogs arrival, Hydra. I'm sorry, Hogs is an intersection on the Hydra. There's our route of flight. And let's go back up here and generate a briefing. We need a new one. This is very similar to what you get with the airlines on a real briefing package. As you see here, it's got all the pertinent information about the aircraft, where we're going, the distances. Our maximum takeoff weight for the aircraft is 78,000 kilograms, and the maximum landing is 66,000. And our takeoff weight is going to be 64,599, and landing is 62. So we're about 4,000 pounds below the max landing weight. So, as we've discussed before, you can't load the aircraft full of people, bags, fuel, and fly anywhere. So on shorter flights, you'll be landing weight limited. So you have to be at 66,000 pounds to touch down. So you can only put on enough gas in passengers. I'm sorry. You can basically haul all the passengers you want, but you may be restricted how much gas you can put on the airplane. It's saying that minimum fuel for this flight is 56.35. The flight time's at 1 hour and 55 minutes. That's everything. The trip, 42 minutes en route, 15 minutes contingency, 27 minutes to the alternate, and the final reserve is 30 minutes. Minimum takeoff fuel is 56.35, no extra. And our block fuel is 58.35. So let's look down here and see how much we got on board. We got 53.93. Let's see if we got enough to go. $53.93. We need a little bit more. Well, let's call up the fuel truck and get some. And if we go outside, there he comes. Looks like he's hooked up, and there's our fuel selector. So we're going to go up to 6,000 on the fuel and load that up. Okay, so now we got a little bit more than the minimum fuel. And he'll unhook and leave. Let's go back inside. Let's call up that I need to put that so it doesn't jump over there. So it said the block fuel was 58. We got 6,000, so we got a couple hundred more kilograms than we need. And it's showing the times, the scheduled times, the weights. And it's showing we're landing weight limited here. And it's got a regular flight log with all the great information, the waypoints, the distances, the fuel used, winds, the leg winds. Here's the winds aloft information. So we said we were going to be at 27, so 269 at 70. So we got about a 70 knot tailwind. And there's our route of flight and the weather. So in San Diego right now it is a few clouds at 1,008 miles. Altimeter is 3008. Let's put that in while we're here. We need to turn these lights up before I put us in the dark. And we won't be able to find these. That's pretty funny when I do that. While we're down here, let's turn the transponder on so they can see us. And the TCAS is over on RA. Everybody familiar with what that TCAS does? And Terminal Collision Avoidance System. Well, we're going to have to start here in a minute. Well, we don't want to waste gas, so let's continue on with what we're doing here. I keep needing to put that over. Okay, so we were going to set the altimeter. Must have got distracted for some reason. 3007, I believe it said. And that's pretty close, 20 feet. Might as well set our speed to 50. Our heading is going to be 270. Remember, the runway heading is not necessarily 270, but it's close. And we're going to go up to 10,000 initially. Okay. So now we got 6,000 pounds, and that's a good cross check of what we actually wanted. So again, the sim brief. Let's see, we're going to have to set this in a minute anyway, but Phoenix is variable at 3, 10 miles, a few at 16,000, 26 and 4, and 002 on the altimeter. What was that? 008. Okay. And what you can also do with this is you can download the data. So go down to your aircraft where JAR designs Airbus. We can download that route, which I've already done. And that's what I put in the FMS for the route. I didn't have to generate it. 0259 Zulu. Okay. So now we know the weather and we know our route, and let's look a little farther. Just hang on 1 second while I trying to get my oh, it's already that way. Okay. This X-plane's got to be full screen. Why that is so hard to do, I do not understand. Oh, there it is. So now we can move this FMS. Remember, you can click on these by themselves and pull them up too, so you really don't even need that little guy over there. So let's go down here and update the weather and see what this one says. So the 21 0251. 310 at 3009 now, 17 degrees. And Phoenix, same time, 260 at 410 miles, a few at 16, 24 Celsius. So double that, 48, add 30, 78 degrees over there, 3002. Go back to the departure airport. Stand by just 1 second. Max, caution, max up trim limitation 2.5. Okay, so let's go back to that flight plan. That's the fuel prediction pre-flight. I guess we need some more information. Oh yeah, we stopped there because of the fuel. So takeoff weight 61.7, landing weight 60.1. The block is 6,000 pounds. Now when we go over here, it'll show us more information. Our cruise is 27,000. The optimum is 37. The maximum is 38. Performance, we can get our V speeds now. Let's see, we always use flaps 2, and the trim is up 0.5. If you remember me saying I used 1.0, but that caused the airplane to lift off before I was ready to rotate. So there's the flap speed, spoilers up at 184 and clean at 209. That's the climb phase, the cruise, the descent, and now the approach. So let's look at that arrival airport again. Remember, we can put this information in ahead of time. The FMS uses the information to figure out the speed that you're going to be flying on final over at your destination. And you're going to be upgrading it en route anyway. So 260 at 4. We'll have to see what runway they're using over there, but we'll plan on landing east. We can land with a 4-knot tailwind. Our approach speed's 142 over the fence at 139, full flaps. And that's the go around phase. On the flight plan, let's put in what we're going to do. We're going to depart runway 27. We said we were going to fly the zoo. There's the zoo. And we're going out to Imperial. So that's a temporary inserted. And on Phoenix, let's plan on runway 8. Let's see, we know the star is the Hydra, and we're going to pick it up at Hogs. Let's temporary that and then insert it. Radios. Let's, so I get my charts from Navigraph. That's an app, another subscription. Our flight, let's bring that over. So there's San Diego, runway 27, Zoo, Imperial, Hogs, Hydra, and runway 8. Right now I've got already pinned the airport. We're over here at about Terminal 2. This is the departure. We're going to take off west, make a left turn, go to Zoo, and climb out to Imperial. Then this is the Hydra. We're going to pick it up at Hogs and fly it all the way in to land on runway 8. There's the approach for runway 8. Let's see, that frequency is 111.75. But we're going to leave San Diego in there. And the reason we're going to do that is if you have a problem after takeoff, you want to go ahead and have the departure airport ILS tuned in and ready to go so that you don't have to set that up. But let's put the Phoenix frequency in the number 2 nav. We won't be able to see it for a long time. And I'm just looking for the charts. Let's get the we can put Imperial in 115.9. Okay, so we've got Imperial, and then we've got Phoenix, and we've got the ILS here in San Diego before we take off. Here's the fuel prediction page. We're taking off with 6. We're going to land with 4. That's good, and we got about 28 minutes of extra fuel. You don't want to carry too much fuel, but you do want to carry enough that you can make it. That's funny. Let's go to the planning here. And we can go over to that page. And what that allows us to do, let's make that one big. Oh, it's clear over there. We can go to flight plan and we can scroll through and make sure that route is correct. So there is Zoo and George, Grinder, Blues, there's Imperial. Then we're on the jet route, so we're going to Heeds. There's Bravo Zulu Alpha, and there's Hogs. Remember, Hogs is on our arrival. And the rest of this is the star. And hang on a minute while that's the sim brief. I guess I need the charts. So there's Hogs and there's Judith, and there's Judith right there. I think this is going to make this disappear. So we got Hydra, Galena, Punt, Tech, Tessel, and we end up at Jamil right on final. So let's go a little bit farther. Hydra. Now these pink, let's talk about the pink stuff. The pink stuff on here is the managed flight. And I did this flight earlier, and for some reason I had a glitch in the video stream, and about an hour into the flight, the screen went sort of blank and didn't record that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to about that point on this stream, and then you can watch the landing on the other stream. But again, these pink ones are managed. So managed is up here on the flight control panel, like speed, heading, and altitude. There's 2 modes for that. One is you push it and it is managed, and the airplane will fly the programmed. It will cross Galena between 17 and 11 at 250 knots without you doing anything. Or you can pull these knobs, and now you're doing it pilot controlled. You still have to get ATC approval to do the managed, but that is the most efficient way to fly the aircraft. And there's Tech, Telsa, Falco, and then Jamil, and now you're on the ILS, right down to the runway. And then the missed approach is the blue. So now we know that the route of flight is correct. And that's exactly how you would do it in the real airplane. As you can see, on runway 27 in San Diego, you immediately pick up the SID and fly it, and the controller can say climb on the SID, and you can do it all automatically. Okay, so we got our route of flight. We've got all the information in the FMS. And let's go up and go ahead and start the APU. So the master and the start. Then you can come down here and watch. That'll automatically bring up the APU page. There's our gross weight down here, 62,000 kilograms. Okay, the APU generator's got the load and the bleed is available. So let's go back up here and select the bleeds on and turn on the packs. And if you remember, I've already got the temperature turned down a little bit. So APU bleeds are on. We don't need external power. And we can also get rid of external power and the chocks. And while we're doing this, let's call the pushback guy. So if you look outside, there he comes. You get 3 tugs on this. You get a regular tug like for small airplanes. You get this fancy one. I like this fancy one. Watch it pick up the nose tire off the ground. That's really cool. Okay. Back inside. Well, we need to set the passengers down. We need to turn on the emergency lights. I'm sorry, we need to arm them. We'll turn on the beacon now because we're going to start it up, the logo lights. Just about everything is done except the fuel pumps. If you don't turn these fuel pumps on, you'll get a hung start, which is kind of fun to do. And there is the hydraulic page. So the hydraulics are the electric is the blue and the green and yellow are engine driven. Let's look at the bleeds for a second. The APU bleed is running the system, and that will start the engines. APU generator's got the electrical load. Here the pumps are all on, but the engine-driven pumps and the crossfeed are not on. The APU we saw before. The air conditioning is nice. All the doors are shut. The wheel temperatures are fine. the flight controls won't work because we don't have the systems. And takeoff configuration. We're not ready for that anyway. Well, let's go over here and look at the checklist. Before start, cabin prep. I'm sorry, cockpit prep. Gear pins, you've heard me talk about them. Signs are auto, ADIRs, that's what we programmed up there on the top. Fuel quantities checked, barrel ref, we've set it on both sides, and I'll be flying tonight. The cell phones are off, the takeoff data is set, the doors and windows are closed, the beacon's on, thrust levers are idle, they are right there at idle. And the park and brake is on. Yes, it is. And you can also read it right there in green. And the ATC and TCAS are all on so that they can see us on the ground. And that'll be the after start. There's our guy outside. We're talking to him on the intercom. Whoops. That was fast. Where was I trying to get to? Oh. We need the engine page up to start. And let's look outside and make sure everybody's gone. They are. The tug's plugged in. That's good to have. So he said you're clear to start number 2, the right engine. Always start the right one. That's mainly because you could still be loading passengers or stuff on the left-hand side, and that way you can. So we're going to turn on the ignition and start 2. And remember, at about 23% in 2 is when it's going to light off. We time the start, so if it doesn't light off, we don't burn the starter up for about 2 minutes. If it doesn't start, we shut it down. We're also looking for a hot start. We don't want that ITT to go crazy. If it would, we'd shut that start off also. There's 23 and light off. When it stabilizes, it's about 246, about 20%, about 400 degrees, and about 60% in 2. So there we go, 20, about 463 on the N2. We can ready, and we've got oil pressure. We can start number 1. Same drill. Remember, normally we've got 2 pilots, so the first thing we do is we do what's called a flow. And that's getting everything set up so that you can do the checklist. So, where are we coming up? Flex not set. We'll get that in just a second. Okay, 246, we're good on that engine. And we can turn the igniters back to normal. We can arm the spoilers and put the flaps to 2. Okay, that's the after start. Let's see what the checklist says. After start, anti-ice on. We're good for now. Sec 1 and 2 are reset. ECAM status checked. ECAM is this thing right here, and we're looking at it. And remember, we saw that we didn't have the flex set. And that's where it goes right there. So we'll flex to 55 degrees. And if we come here and take off configuration, well, it will fix in a minute. we'll watch for that. It's red, so we definitely aren't going to take off with something red on there. ECAM status check. Pitch trim is 0.5. We know that. Rudder trim is 0. Flight controls, we can finally check them. We have the hydraulics now. So we can go to the flight control page and rudder. Elevators. Ailerons. When you're learning how to fly the real airplane and you're in the sim, the instructor does all kinds of great things to see if you're actually watching. I was a simulator instructor and examiner, and I could shut off the aileron so that when you did that, the left side didn't go up. That's why you watch it. So, okay, flight controls are checked. Next is the before takeoff. Oh, let's turn the terrain on for fun. Wow, there's Point Loma. There's North Island. There's the Strand. There's the bay and the town. Pretty cool. So we got the engine running now. We don't need the APU. So let's get rid of that. APU bleeds are off and the APU's off. And we'll turn on the lights, even though we wouldn't want to blind the guy right in front of us, but we'll get that done a little ahead of time. Wing lights are on. That's a motorcycle principle. If you want to know what I'm talking about, I'll reiterate that. Let's see. Go back to engine. Hit takeoff configuration warning. It's still not wanting to give us the information we need. Well, let's turn on max brakes. Okay. Nose wheel steering's on. I'm trying to think what causes that to console floor bright 1. Maybe that's anyway at nighttime. Oh, there's a it was pretty dark in here. I was trying to figure out how to get some light. When these master cautions go off, you look and see what could be causing it. You'd have some message, and then you clear them. You don't just clear them without figuring out why they're making that. I'm just looking around here. Oh, okay, I needed to clear that. Okay. Now, before takeoff, you hit takeoff configuration warning. Outer brakes are max, pack signs are on, the spoilers are armed, the flaps are takeoff, the cabin is ready, and takeoff configuration is normal. The parking brake is on right now, landing lights and auto brakes. So we can look outside and we can tell the gentleman we're ready to push. We'll call ground control and get permission to push, and they'll say, cleared to push, advise ready to taxi. So let's go over here and turn this little guy on. Drive. It's nice when the FO turns the brake off for you. Let's see, the last time I did this, I was trying to figure out which way I wanted to go, right or left. I believe I want to go right. Yes. There's MCRD over there. Anybody a Marine? Okay, straighten out, and he's going to go. Yep. And he's going to leave. Thank you. We'll go back to flight plan. Get rid of that one. And we'll be ready to taxi. So we'll call ground control, and they'll say taxi runway 27. Just for fun, let's stop here just for a second and see if anything's working here. I would really like FFT 577. And that shows me an Airbus and Frontier and everything. Okay, let's see if anybody's here. Voice is connected. I just wish I could talk. Uh-oh. I guess my camera went off because the battery went dead. So let's see what we got here. Oh, looks like she's coming back on. Maybe I gotta turn it back on. Hey, there I am. Howdy, everybody. So I'm using my GoPro for my webcam. So let's taxi out. Thank you. Yeah, the other problem I got is my frame rate. It's down below 20. You can't use VATSIM anyway. I guess what I'm going to have to do is get Pilot Edge. I just need to get Pilot Edge and fly basically from Denver west. Hey, the crash crew came out to watch. That's always a wonderful sign. Well, this visual for San Diego, that's a special airport that you can purchase for X-Plane. And it, has the terminal and some city buildings and looks more like the real thing. Welcome. Let me go back over here. Hey, if you guys are on and whoops, why does it say red? Okay. Yeah, if you want to chat, just type something in and I'll answer your questions or we can talk about something. I'm using Twitch Studio, but I think I'm going to go to something else because what I would like to do is to be able to watch the chat while I'm flying the plane. Right now I'm having a look at another screen. Well, the windsock shows the wind's about down the runway. Let's see if this parking brake's going to work. Okay, we're going to do this again. I don't know why X-Plane does this. But for some reason the brake doesn't work. When I was flying the pocket rocket earlier, the brake wasn't working right either. And I'm not quite sure what is going on. I mean, there's the brake. Well, thanks. How come you couldn't come on when I wanted you? Okay, oh, down here by the checklist, let's look at it. Before takeoff, flight instruments checked on both sides, the briefing. We're going to talk about what we're going to do. If something happens before V1, we're going to stop. After V1, we're going to go flying. ECAM status, check it. No blue. Pitch trim, it's set for 0.5. Rudder trim was 0. I'm reading the wrong one. Flight instruments are checked. Briefing flaps, they are set to 2. V1, VR, V2, and flex temperatures are all set. ATC squawk is in. What am I squawking? My code? Yep. 0577. ECAM memo, no blue. Pack signs are on, cabin's ready. Spoilers are armed, takeoff flaps, auto brakes max, takeoff configuration normal. We're advising the crew we're ready. Engine modes are normal, packs can be on, and the TCAS is set. Okay. And so, let's see what else we need. We need auto thrust on. We got 250, 270, 10,000. That's all good. ATC says climb via the SID and you're cleared for takeoff runway 27. See, that don't work right. I don't understand. Let's taxi here and we'll stop at the hold short and see if that does anything. Remember, the throttles don't move in an Airbus, so the only way you know it's running and what it's doing is the sound and the instruments, of course. So let's see if this works. Well, he didn't say nothing, but it sure came to a stop. See how it's half on? That is so weird. That's why it wouldn't stop. It's not going on all the way. Whoa. Huh. Gonna have to figure that one out. Okay, let's get ourselves over here so we can see everything that's in front of us. Like I said, the tower cleared us to go, so let's head out. Remember, we want to use the whole runway, so don't necessarily follow the lines. Might want to go all the way over here and then turn. Hey, the runway is grooved. See the little grooves in the runway? Okay. We're lined up. We're going to flex, so let's make sure we get flex power. We have it. Okay. We're ready to go. Watch those engines, they're running well. Well, he didn't say 100, but cross-check. I'm not sure what he's doing, but uh-oh, we don't. Our speeds aren't there. That's fine. Positive rate gear up.
Positive climb.
Flight director's not there. Auto thrust isn't there. Hang on here a minute. There's auto thrust. There's the autopilot. And we're on nav. Let's see. Master caution's off. Gear not down. I don't want the gear down, buddy. Okay. So let's get some flaps up. So we should be flying the SID. And we can bring the power back to climb. Gosh, there's that stupid, that happened before. That right thrust lever's back, but the engine's running fine. And there's the turn. Sailboat. I don't know, I may have to reinstall this X-plane. It's not doing what I want it to do. Something's messed up. Okay, so we're flying via the SID. We're climbing at 250 on auto thrust. We're going up to 10,000. And I don't think we need the terrain anymore. And we need to put the spoilers back down. Thank you, sir. And now we're going out to zoo. And the controller says go ahead and climb to flight level 270. Okay, open climb. It's on nav. Alt is blue because it hasn't captured yet. Auto thrust is on. Flight level 270, and there's the altimeter. Oh, isn't that a pretty plane? There's North Island, Point Loma. Beautiful sim. We're in sterile cockpit till we get to 10, so don't really want to say much except we're trying to get rid of that. Why that thing says... Okay, good. I hit the clear button, I got rid of that red message. Don't know why it said that. So we're flying a managed departure. It's flying the SID and we're climbing via the SID. So I'm just looking around the cockpit like I would, checking things out, update the weather. Coming up on 10,000. So we're going to ding the flight attendant and tell her we are through 10,000. And we don't need the lights anymore. Oh, we do need the strobes. We probably should. And we'll be nice, we'll let the passengers up. At the airline I flew for, we tried to get the passengers up at 10,000 if we didn't have a reason to keep them down. You know, a lot of airlines, you'll ride on them, they won't ever turn the seatbelt sign off, and everybody's got their legs crossed because they got to pee and they can't get to the bathroom. And well, that says flight level 14,000 at George. Well, we're through 10, so let's do that checklist. After takeoff, climb. Landing gear is up, flaps are up, packs are on, barometric pressure. We're going to set them to standard 17 climbing, 18,000 descending. Remember we discussed why it's 17 climbing, 18,000 descending. There's a reason for it being that way. If you want me to talk about that again, just say something in chat. Remember, we're trying to do this via the Airman's Information Manual and SOP, Standard Operating Procedures. Well, we're climbing 1,900 feet a minute. That's pretty good. Let's go over here and put the time where it's supposed to be, and that's going to make it dark. I have a hard time with that clock. It does not ever want to work. Oh, there it goes. Okay. All of a sudden it's nighttime. That's because now we're doing real time, So that light is on now. Let's see if that helps the problem with that checklist. There's a stupid checklist again. Nah. Still about the only lights right there from the light above my head, which is really hard at nighttime to read. But that's okay. We're not going to do it anyway. Remember, we're only going to do partial of this flight. You can pick up the managed descent on the one I made before going to Phoenix. It really turned out well. I was really, the simulator very accurately flew the managed descent. Let's see, we're 59 miles from Imperial, and we're 97 miles from SLI, which is not what. Remember, we put Phoenix in there. Okay, there's 17,000. So this is where you go standard.
Standard Barrow cross check. Passing flight level 1, 7, 2.
He was pretty close. Okay. And what is that, the Big Dipper? I don't know. Something. Got too many stars to be the Big Dipper. And the Big Dipper ought to be over here anyway. I've always wondered if I ought to send X-Plane a message and ask them about, oh, what happened. Wow, I'm upside down. That was funny. Okay, let's go down here and look at our pages just for fun. The engines are good, pressure's good, vibrations are good. The beads, got the IP. Pressurization. The cabin is up to 3,800 feet. The differential is 4. So we are at flight level 200 and the cabin's at 3,900. There's the electrics. Everything's running fine. The hydraulics looks good. Fuel's fine. APU is off. Air conditioning looks like it's working well. Doors are shut. Wheel temperatures are fine. Flight controls are all green. That's what we wanted to see. There's Blues as the next checkpoint. .77 Mach is what they want. Let's see how we're doing on that. We're at 0.58 Mach. We're climbing 1,400 feet a minute. Now I'm not sure whether we can let's go a little bit faster. 270. It just depends on your weight what you can actually do. You want to climb as fast as you can because the airplane uses less fuel at higher altitudes. I'm tired, sorry. Well, nobody wants to chat. Oh, I'm heartbroken. Well, we'll go up here. Up there's top of climb right there. Winds are 180 at 45 at this altitude, so we got just a little bit of a tailwind. True airspeed's 177. We're doing, 377. We're doing 389, so about, what, 10 knot tailwind so far? Yeah, our logo light's not working. Okay. So the flight plan said we were going to do like 7-8. 7-7. Top of climb, 7-7. And then it says 7-5, so... Oh, I didn't know it would do that. Okay, estimated fuel on board at all the fixes, the winds, the times. Oh, we're just back. So we're going to land at 0425, which is an hour and a half from now. Is that right? No. 425 is like 30 minutes from now. The distance is 212 miles, and we'll land with 4.2 kilograms. 4,200 kilograms. Well, we're coming up on a couple hours of streaming. I started off with that tilt rotor eVTOL machine, and all I did was crash. Took off from the Dubai hotel helipad way up high. Tried to come in and land, but lost control and crashed. Then I went to the Pocket Rocket in San Diego. Gonna do a little flight around the city. We had a little bit of fun. Saw Point Loma and went past Montgomery Field and landed at Miramar. And when I was a Navy controller, I was at North Island and I was at Miramar. So those old stomping grounds. As I said before, I was at Miramar in 1985 when they filmed Top Gun. The first Top Gun. You know, there's a new one coming out. I can't believe, well, I mean, I can believe Ted Cruz is in it again. Iceman is in it again. If you've seen that poor guy, he got throat cancer or something. And he survived it, but he's there's flight level 260 for flight level 270. I guess he was able to do the movie before that happened about the throat cancer. Okay, we're doing 0.67 and we want to do like 7.5. So we're leveling off here. Let's switch this to Mach. There's altitude capture. Let's see if we can get up to 7.5. Oops. We'll see if we can go 7.5. Well, it's accelerating. It might be able to go that fast tonight. Now, if I bring that over, it'll mess up my screen. And we're right around 2019. I got to figure out how to get my frame rate up. How's the tailwind doing? Yeah. Still about 5 knots. Not much tailwind. Wow, is that saying top of descents at Heeds? Well, we're not very far out, actually. What? We're 180 miles? About 25 minutes we'll be on the ground. Okay, like I said, we're coming up on 2 hours, and this is about the point where the other one, oh, that's not right. Well, I guess I'll continue then. Because when that other one drops off, you don't get to see the descent. So we'll look at this again. So we don't need our sim brief. We do need our chart. So let's look at that. We're going to hogs, Judith. If you look down here at the, see where it says Judith there at 31,000? And over here it says Judith at 26,000, 25,000. Well, on the star you have to cross Judith at 25 level 250 at 280 knots. Well, let's see what the weather is at Phoenix now. 260 at 410 miles, a few at 16,002 on the altimeter. That's nice. I'm not sure why Navigraph is staying up there without losing its cool. Judith at 31, huh? Oh. Uh-oh. Come on. Trying to figure out what it's doing. Be nice if you could see. Well, Judith at 25.
Full as half. Autopilot 1, cross check.
Okay. Let's see if the auto throttles will pick this back up. So Judith at 280 knots at 25,000 feet. Well, we're at 280 at 25,000, so that's good at this point. Speed brakes, we don't need that thing anymore.
Forward retracted.
280 at 25 knots at Judith. Well, we're starting our descent, so we would want to bring out the checklist and see if we could get it up where I could read it in the light. So the descent briefing, we're going to do the ILS to 8. ECAM status is fine at this point. Seatbelt sign on minimums are set. We'll set the barometric pressure when we come through 18,000. So I'm just watching my altitudes and speeds on the arrival. Well, that number 2 VOR is still not showing up. We are 113 miles out. Next fix is radam at 22,000. Let's see, I may be able to set 22 in there, but we're not going down yet. Cross Judith at 25 and then go down to 22. When you wear all black, all I can see is your face and your hat. Let's see, one thing we do need to do is we need to set that ILS frequency for the ILS 8. And it's 111.75. 111.75 on the radio page. It's in there, 111.75. Okay. Let's see, we're 2 miles from Judith, so we ought to be able to push this button in. Now let's see what it does. 22,000.
We need to decelerate, sir.
Yeah, I know. So next altitude's random at 22. Remember the little pink dot over here is the managed glide slope or managed descent angle. Well, he wanted to deaccelerate a little bit. Let's put some spoilers down. I mean, spoilers up.
Spoilers half.
See what that does. Okay, here comes a little pink glide slope, so I'm thinking it's waiting for that to come up, and then it'll go ahead and go down. Yeah, we'll watch it. 280 is the speed. The next speed's 265. 19 to 15, so we're going to set 15 in there. We're pretty close. Come on. Okay, so there's 15 and 265. Let's see what it does. Now it looks like it's going to make red dam at 22. Let's watch that little pink descent rate and see how it works. Let's look at that local altimeter. update that thing. 3003. Remember, we're going to set that at 18,000. Remember, it's between 19 and 15. I'm just using the lower altitudes. Let's see, I don't think I need the spoilers now. Be nice if you could see those Hummers. Let's see how it's doing here. Less power. "3003" on the altimeters. Well, we're going to cross this below 19, so that's good. 19 and 15. Next one's 250 and 11. Let's go ahead and set 11 in there. We're making the turn. Let's go ahead and slow to 250. Let's pick the ILS here. Got the right frequency. We're coming through 18. We need 3003. Slowing to 250 and going down to 11. And all we got to do is cross below 17 and 11. We're through 17 now, so we're good on that. The next setup is 230 at 10. 230 at 10. As you can see, they don't want you coming racing in here. And Phoenix is pretty busy, so with everybody doing this slowdown, you get a nice sequence coming in. So 230 at 10. So let's set, don't like that. Let's set the 10. And 230. So as you see, we're on the manage. There's a little pink dot, and we're right on that glide slope. Altitude's looking good. 230 at 10. And now it's slowing down. The next one is 210 at 8,000. Well, we're going to make the punt at below 12, so that's good. 12 and 10,000, and then the next one is 210 at 8,000. So there's 8,000. Okay, we want 230 here, and then we want 210. So we don't have to slow down quite yet. Hey, there's the ILS for 36 miles out. And we're going to want to go up here and... Oh, great. Don't tell me that again. What happened to my... Oh, where's that thing? Need all our lights on. Need our seatbelt signs on. I guess we're starting the APU, huh? Go back and fly that airplane. 210 on the speed now. 210 at 8. Next altitude is 7. We're below 9 and 7, and we go down to 7. We can go flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
So we're at 210 on the speed. We're crossing 9,000, 8,000. Tessel at 7. And 210 at 6 at the next one. Going down to 7. Three miles, we can go down to 6. $210 at 6 at Falco. Falgo.
Flaps 2.
Flaps 2. 6,000 and 210 at Falgo. Gosh darn it. Not again. That airspeed's not correct. I don't know what it is doing.
Autopilot 1, cross check.
Localizer and glide slope. For some reason, these auto throttles are not working right either. So we got glide slope and localizer capture. Jamil is the final approach fix. Let's go gear down now.
Gear down.
The final approach speed is 143. Medium on the auto brakes. Arm these spoilers if I could see them. No.
Spoilers half. Spoilers retracted. Spoilers armed.
That's nice. Gears down, 3 green. Slowing the final approach speed. I guess if we look outside we might see the airport. Hey, there's the runways. So I don't know what happened to the auto throttles. One thing I don't like about this aircraft is there's no lighting in here at nighttime. You really need to be able to see some stuff. You guys know about the speed trend vector bug on the airspeed indicator? See that little arrow showing that it's slowing down? 2,500 on the altitude. Yeah, I was flying the real airplane one night going into Tampa and my FO accidentally shut off my auto throttles. I guess I didn't know how to turn them back on. I told him, I said, well, you better watch this closely because I've never done this. Because normally, you fly on automation, you don't, and like I said, the throttles don't move on the Airbus, so, but you can use them just like real throttles, so. Well, we're on speed. Let's see, we need more flaps.
Flaps 3. Flaps full.
And that should take more power. You put that drag out, you're going to have to add a little bit of thrust. Well, it looks like the video worked correctly tonight. Oh, there's downtown. Must be lit up by the moon. There's the stadium. There's a rotating beacon. There's the VASI. We're 2 whites and 2 reds.
1,000.
We're lined up for 8. DH at 100. This is a Cat 2 approach. That looks like Phoenix. Here comes the runway up, that red part right there. Land green. We're doing an auto land.
300.
I like auto lands.
200. Minimum. 50. 40. 30. 20.
There's the flare. Here come the reversers. You can keep those on to 60 knots. Get that autopilot off before he tells me. Hey, they liked it and back. Hopefully that brake didn't come on again. That's the other thing. The brake keeps coming on. And of course you can't see the dumb thing.
Park brake on.
Ugh.
Park brake off.
Thanks. Controller wouldn't like me. Turn that terrain off. Flaps are coming up as we clear the runway.
Flaps 2. Flaps 1. Flaps 0.
Well, let's see if we can go right into this gate over here. I think I see a Parker guy maybe. Uh-oh. I just want to make sure that brake was going to work. There's the line. Sorry, guy, I'm blinding him. Okay, stopper. Thank you. Oh, remember we got this panel. We can't, crazy lights aren't on. Yeah, might as well start the APU. Okay. And he says we can shut her down. So 2 off. 1 off. I guess it would make sense to make sure and our electrics is set. Yep. So that way we're not sitting in the dark. Okay, well, that was a pretty good managed descent. Okay, well, it was a 2 hour and 30-minute stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember, stop by when I'm doing my streams and we can chat. As always, can't even say it. As always, fly safely. And good night, everybody.